All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Thursday morning Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody is doing well today. So we are going to dive in. As always, let's turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage as you guys always do. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call, please ensure that your mic is muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. We got some stuff to cover today. We had the Fed yesterday raised interest rates. We'll see what the fallout of that is. And then we have coming up here soon, the Bank of England expected to increase rates as well, along with the Bank of or the European Central Bank at 8 o'clock. So let's flip over, take a look at trading economics, and we'll see what is happening from a fundamental perspective. Real quick before I move forward, drop me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Maybe. All right, cool deal. Appreciate it. And let's get to it. Let's share here. All right. So before we get to the ECB and the Bank of England, dollar index weakened past 101 on Thursday, sliding to its lowest levels in over 9 months as the Federal Reserve delivered a smaller 25 basis point rate hike in a widely expected move, while Fed Chair Powell said that the disinflationary process has started, right? We took more of a dovish tone yesterday. Powell added that it is certainly possible that the Fed will keep its benchmark interest rates below 5%, and it can get inflation down to 2% without significant economic damage. Those words are key because, you know, the conversation around recession, right, and damage to the economy, and it can get really bad. Those types of terms have been used in the past. So without significant economic damage, gave investors some hope. Still, the central bank signaled more rate increases ahead, but Powell's remarks ignited hopes that this tightening cycle may be near its end. All right. Moreover, data released on Wednesday showed the U.S. manufacturing activity contracted for the third straight month in January amid weakened demand, while U.S. job openings rose more than expected in December. Right, investors now look ahead to the key monthly jobs report coming out on Friday. All right, so we got some news going on Friday that will definitely give us some insight and either continue to give investors hope or pull the rug from under them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So pretty dovish tone coming out of the Fed yesterday. And we saw some of that movement in the markets, which we'll take a look at. We got Bank of England coming out at 7 o'clock. Bank of England is seen raising its key bank rate by 50 basis points to 4% during its meeting today. A 10th consecutive rate increase, pushing borrowing costs to its highest since 2008. Investors will be looking for any clues about the central bank's next steps, with many suggesting that it will be the last big rate hike of its current tightening cycle, the most aggressive one in 3 decades. Central bank delivered a half-point increase in December and 75 jumbo hike in November. Terminal rate is seen about 4.5%. Right, so they still got a little bit to go. Policymakers are also set to unveil updated inflation and growth forecast. Inflation has slowed for a second month in December. Natural gas prices fell and the economy probably avoided recession last year. However, the IMF recently said the UK is on track for to be the only major economy to shrink. Right. So still some work to do coming out of the UK. We'll see how they how the conversation goes at 7 o'clock. And then the ECB expected to raise its key rates by 50 basis points. That's coming out at 8 o'clock. Right. So still got some things happening in the market today. Early on, investors relatively excited. So we'll see how the day moves on from there. Over to the calendar. That was news from yesterday. And then come out today, right? 7 o'clock, Bank of England. 8:15, the ECB. At 8:45, you got the ECB press conference, right? And tomorrow, right, big day non-farm payroll. So we shall see how things transpire and how things move as we continue trekking through the day. Any questions from a fundamental perspective? No? All right. Cool deal. So let's take a look at the dollar real quick. We will go through the pound pairs. Then we'll go through the euro pairs just to see where they sit ahead of these rate statements. And we will check out, we'll watch some of the charts as 7 o'clock rolls through and see how the market initially responds to whatever decision the Bank of England makes. All right. So dollar. All right. This is on the 4-hour time frame. We see this was the move yesterday. Push down, right? But coincidentally, right, we got a shallow retracement here and price push right into that 118, 127 zone, right? So we'll see if we start to make a move back to the upside or if price turns over, continue pressing and continues pressing down, right? So we'll watch that throughout the day. But we're bouncing off that 118 level right now, another level of daily support from back here. Okay. So we'll see how the market moves as we move through the day and as investors really come in and start to digest everything from yesterday and including how things go with the ECB and the Bank of England. All right. So that's the dollar, right? And we saw similar moves with the dollar pairs and dollar crosses, which we'll take a look at come towards the end of the session. All right. So that's the dollar. Let's start looking at these pound pairs just so we can try to get through them before the 7 o'clock hour. So we'll start with this pound NZD, which we had a setup posted yesterday in the Discord, right? And we see we never got a cloud break on the 15, right? So we never got that confirmation. If we drop down to the 5 here, right? Oops, let's do this. Come back. 15. I'm going to copy this fib here on the 15 and take it down to the 5 just so that we can look at it from that perspective. But we never got the confirmation. We never got the trend line break. We never got the cloud break, right? You see, when we posted that, price pushed into that 118, 127 zone and then just moved sideways, right? So we never got the confirmation that we were looking for that setup, right? So let's take this down to the 5 and look at it from a shorter time frame perspective. Right. And even here, even on the 5, right? It just pushed sideways, never gave us that bullish action, and then just continued to break down. Right. So never got the confirmation there. we're pushing towards the D extension right now. All right. And we'll see how things go as this rate statement is released. Okay. So that's the pound NZD. That was the setup that was posted in the Discord yesterday. Okay. Right there. All right. So we'll continue watching that, and we'll see if we get to that D extension, then we get a refresh, and then we'll see how things move from there. Let's come back to the one. Look at it from a broader perspective, right? And we're kind of playing in this range a little bit, trying to break below. Maybe. There we go. All right. Pull the cloud out for a second. Trying to break below this support level, right? You see we got the push. We'll see if things turn over and turn around, depending on how the Bank of England comes out. But trying to push to the downside and break out of this range that it's been in for a bit. Okay. I know I'm walking backwards here, but just follow me. Okay. We see from a broader perspective, this is that range that price has been playing in. So we'll watch to see this daily level actually. I'll come back to the daily. All right. So we'll move this down to the bottom here. That's the support level, right? That's the swing low. Previously it was sitting right here. That's the new support level there, right? So price is pushing into that zone right now. We'll see if this daily level is able to hold, and if we get price to turn over and potentially start pushing back to the upside, giving us a double bottom look here, right? So if the Bank of England does come out with a 50 basis point rate hike and they're relatively hawkish, then we could see this turn over and start making its way back to the upside there. Okay. Surely from a support resistance perspective, right? We can look at it from a fib perspective, but this is just the range that it's been playing in. So this is the easiest way to look at this one. Okay. So we'll see if we get this double bottom action here and get price to push back to the upside. Okay. If we do, then as we get down to the lower time frames, right, and looking again at that 15-minute move, right, that 80-20 scenario could still play out just closer to that D extension, right? So this is on the one, right? You see we're starting to get a little bit of a reaction here, and we'll see if price turns back over, okay? If we run our fib off the one, right, that's what that looks like. So it's super choppy, not quite down in that 118, at that 118 level yet, all right? So nothing there from a fib perspective on the one. Now back to that 15-minute look, right? That double bottom would now make sense, right? We may not hit that D extension. We could, right? It's not too far away. But if this level holds and we start to make our way to the upside, right, we could see that flip, okay? So dropping the cloud back on, right? Wait for the confirmations, right? If you use your trend lines, drop your trend lines on. If you use the cloud, wait on the cloud, right? And again, you can take this and drop down to the 15 and look for that break if it occurs. Okay. Like so. So be patient here. Be patient here, right? Allow it to develop. Allow that twist to happen. Okay. Questions on the pound NZD? All right, cool deal. We'll come back and take a look at it later on in the hour. All right, let's look at the pound Swiss. Yep, there we go. So on this pound Swiss, right, similar to the pound NZD, we're in this range, right? Top of the range, we're trying to push to the bottom of the range, just moving sideways, right? We do have 80-20 scenario here on the daily time frame, okay? One second. Okay. We do have 80-20 scenario here on the daily time frame, but it's just been sideways, right? Broke below the cloud on the daily, We'll see if we push down to these lower levels. We'll see. As we move down to the 4, right? We just zoom in on that. We got a 382 on the 4-hour, and we're just moving sideways here. Okay, so zooming in on this range, see we're trying to push down to the downside. Got a little bit to go before we get to that daily support level. Okay, down to the 1, zoom in a little bit on this last zone here, right? So pushing down, we're going to come into this area here. This is really where we want to highlight and look. Last impulsive move coming out of the top of that range. On the 1 hour, we can run a fib here, right? And we see we're pushing to the D extension. Okay, so similar to that, again, that pound NZD, close to that D extension, we'll see if we hit that, right? We could get a push down of some sort and then get a flip. So we'll watch that closely to see what happens. Actually, no, I take that back. We already hit the D extension. I apologize. We already hit the D extension. The color is gone, right? So now we're looking for a new AB boundary once the low forms, wherever that is, right? If it's here, that'll be your new fib like that, okay? So we'll watch and wait for that to form. As we come down to the 15, this is what that looks like. All right, fib coming off the high there, fresh AB boundary. We'll see if we get a push down into that 118, 127 zone, and then get price to turn over as we move through that 7 o'clock hour. Okay. So we'll keep our eyes on that one as well and see what happens after the news comes out and see where it pushes price. Okay. Questions on the pound NZD, pound Swiss? Sweet. Pound yen. Still ranging here, right? Still ranging here. So from a daily time frame perspective, it's just sideways. Just sideways. Okay. You can drop in these support levels here. And here. Okay. New resistance level there, right? But it's just moving in this range. So we'll see what happens here. There's literally nothing doing here. We can go down to lower time frames and take a look, but and it's most of these yen crosses, they're super rangy. And not much happens. So come to the 4, right? And this is where you sit. It's ranging in this. We got an 80-20 here on the 4, right? Fib coming off the high, but it's stuck, right? It's stuck. So we need a breakout of some sort, either to the top or to the bottom, in order for this to give us an opportunity to do anything, right? So it's moving back down to the bottom of the range. We'll see if we get down to these data support levels. If we do, and this level holds, then that could be a buy opportunity, right? If you're just playing the range back to the top, right? It's quite a bit of movement there. So that's one opportunity if you play the ranges on these pairs, okay? So drop down to the 1. And this is a look from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, okay? And then if we flip this and look from the top of the range to the bottom of the range, there you go, right? You hit your D extension. Now we're waiting on the news. So, excuse me. So we'll monitor, right? We'll monitor and see how this moves. If the Bank of England comes in dovish, we'll see this just continue to fall to the bottom. All right. So we'll watch that closely, but nothing doing right now on the pound yen. On the pound CAD. From a weekly time frame perspective, right? We pushed into that weekly level, came down, gave us a retracement. Now we're pushing back down to the downside. Okay. So we're bearish right now on this pound CAD. All right. We come into the daily and we see Still haven't quite got this 382 yet, right? Off this nice bearish move, we got a pullback, and now price is pushing back again to the downside. Okay, let me clean up some of these levels here. That's no longer. Daily support there. There we go. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. We're pushing back below this daily level, right? Daily support, just been hovering at it for quite some time. So we'll see if we get this continued bearish move if the Bank of England comes in dovish, right? If they come in hawkish, we could see this flip, push back to the upside. Okay, so we come down to the 4. And what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to clear these out. They just made changes on the daily, so I'm going to bring these levels down now. There we go. All right, so on the 4, this is our look. I already had a nice deep retracement, got a nice pullback, and we're trying to get bearish again. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not in this one right now, and haven't been, but down on the 1, that's the look. So we zoom in off this last impulsive move to the downside, and we can run a fib off the high like that. Right, we got a 382 price trying to push to the downside. Right, if we stay below this daily level, right, you can see price get to that D extension. We could potentially see pull back in a retest, and then a continuation short. All right, that's if the Bank of England comes in dovish. All right, if they come in hawkish, we could see. Got 7 minutes. We could see a double bottom form here and see a push to the upside. All right, so this is another one that we'll watch to see how things transpire. But right now, overall dovish, right? I mean, overall bearish here. Okay, looking for price to continue pushing, at least get to that 382. But we'll see. We'll see how the Bank of England comes out before we make that decision. Okay, that's the pound CAD. Pound dollar. Still ranging, right? Even after that dollar news, still didn't push above that weekly resistance level. All right. So we come to the 4. Okay. And we're still hovering at the top of this, right? Still don't have a 382 off the 4, right? Trying to get bearish. So we'll see if that continues to push down, right? We got that push yesterday, and now we're coming back down to the downside. All right. So we'll see. This news will be interesting, right? This news will be interesting. So here's the 1. I just boxed out that range, right? Came to the bottom of the range. Yesterday, we pushed to the top. Overnight, we came back down, right? So we'll see if we're able to break out of the bottom of this range today, right? And see what happens in 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll watch these closely to see. But if we break out to the bottom, then we got then that'll be our signal, right, to go ahead and get short. Okay, that'll be our signal to go ahead and get short. But we need a breakout. We need a breakout. But if we push to the upside, break above, right, then that'll be our signal to go long. So waiting patiently. Okay. See what happens. So if we do break out to the downside here, right, we want to see a break, and then we want to see price come back and retest. We won't just want to jump in on that move to the downside. It could be in drawdown, and price could flip and run back to the upside, right? So we'll want to see a breakout to the bottom, retest, and then we'll be able to get short. All right. So we'll allow it to develop and allow it to give us that additional confirmation. Okay, so that's where we are there on the pound dollar. Yeah. Questions on any of those? Pound CAD, pound dollar, pound yen? I know I moved kind of quickly through them. I just wanted us to get our eyes on it before 7 o'clock. Nope. All right. Cool. And the pound Aussie. Here we go. As pound Aussie is playing out kind of as we expected. We'll see if it finishes, but it had a head and shoulders pattern here, right? Price is pushing to the downside now, right? We'll see if we're able to stay below this daily level. If we do, right, headed to that 169.829 level, which is also in line with that 382 off the daily, right? Even through the consolidation, right, 80-20 scenario is playing out as expected. Took forever, right? A couple months, but moving to the downside nonetheless. All right, so we got that there, right? And this is just that harmonic fib off the head and shoulders pattern. Okay, 618 retracement, pushed into the matching D extension there. Okay, so as we move down to the 4, this is where we sit, right? This is that move that we had earlier in the week. We had a push up, didn't get up to my level here. I was looking for a 618 retracement. I didn't get it, so I didn't get short on this, but we did come just shy of a 50% retracement, and now we're pushing down to the downside, right? So this is going to be one to watch as well. If they come in hawkish, you can see a double bottom form here and see a deeper push to the upside. All right. So also one to watch and see how things transpire. As we come down to the 1, right? On the 1, we didn't quite get to the 382 off this fib here. Okay. Didn't quite get there. Okay. Now we're sitting in this 118, 127 zone. So a little back and forth, right? But we'll see if we start to make this move back to the upside, give us a double bottom look in this 118, 127 zone, and see if this 80-20 scenario plays out off this 1 hour fib. Okay. But bearish right now. We'll see if we get a deeper push on that. Okay. Shall see. We shall see. Come down to the lower time frames. I'm just curious here. Yeah. Nothing doing there. Just shy of the D extension here on the 15. Starting to get a twist of the cloud a little bit. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We got 1 minute before the news comes out. Let's see. We'll run this fib off the high here. Boom. There we go. Fresh B boundary on the 5-minute time frame. All right. So let's watch, wait, and see. Let's see what we get. It's the pound Aussie. So want to watch that pound NZD also. And my internet's moving slow. There we go. Oops. Pound NZD. Well, got a spike to the upside. Let's see. Trying to push. We got let's see. It came in right on 50 basis points. There it is, right? So we're getting that break off the 5 on this pound NZD. We'll wait for things to settle out. We still got a bearish cloud ahead, right? But we are getting this push to the upside. Things came in as expected. Also have to look at what that statement is, and also if they have a press conference. I'm not sure that they will. Yeah, they may not have a press conference. We'll have to look to see what the details of the policy statement are. But strong push to the upside. Be patient, don't just jump, right? So we'll wait, but we're starting to get the push to the upside. We want to see price pull back, and we still want the bullish cloud ahead, right? We still want to see the cloud twist, okay? It's trying to, right? This is a sharp push here. Still need to see it turn green ahead, all right? So we'll watch that one there. Let's go to that pound Aussie. On the pound Aussie, right? Ooh, strong push on the 5, right? Strong push on the 5, broke the cloud. All right, so we want to see things settle out a little bit. But see that 80-20 scenario is in. Boom. Right? Things starting to shift, hasn't broken on the 15 yet. Okay. So we'll wait for a pullback. Wait for a pullback. A lot of times when you get these strong bullish moves off of news, right? Price will pull back. So be patient, be patient, be patient. Don't just jump. Don't just jump. Right? Wait for the pullback there. Wait for the pullback there. So let's go to the 1. Okay. This is what I was talking about here, right? So strong bullish move, break back above that daily level, right? Once things settle out a little bit, that'll give us a potential entry opportunity. We can place our stop below the low, right? And then look for price to move to the upside. Okay. Strong bullish action there. All right. So that's that one. Pound dollar. It's pushing back to the upside here. This is on the 15, right? Strong push up. That was an 80-20 scenario there too, right? What a coincidence. But at the end of the day, right? This is what we said. Will it push back to the top or will it break to the bottom, right? And it's pushing back to the top side, at least for now. Okay. So we'll wait to see what that statement says and see how things settle out before we make any decisions. So that's the pound dollar. Indecisive, right? You see on the 4, right? Just tons of indecision right now. It had a bearish move, but we're indecisive. So we'll continue to watch that one. That one will be interesting. And you see price starting to come back down, right? As we move away from that 7 o'clock hour. So that's the pound dollar. And the other was the pound CAD. Yeah. All right. So there's the pound CAD, right? And we'll see how the hour finishes out, right? Starting to settle in a little bit. We'll see if we push back above this daily level and continue making this move to the upside. Okay. Those are the pound pairs. We'll swing back around and look at them as things settle out a little bit to see if they stayed bullish, right? And if they gave us and if they stay above if they close above the cloud and give us some opportunities here, right? So you see here on the 15, right? It was a strong push above the cloud, didn't close above the cloud though, right? Or on the 5, sorry. It's on the 5 on the pound Aussie. Came all the way back, didn't close above the cloud, right? And still don't have that twist, right? So see the value in being patient and allowing price and the market to do what it's going to do, right? If we would have just jumped in that, we would have been in drawdown, and there's no telling if price will actually close above the cloud here or not, right? So being patient, allowing the candles to close and allowing the market to actually tell you what it's going to do, right? It's super, super, super important, right? And this is why we don't trade the news, right? Because you never know how it's going to go and you never know what's going to happen. So you allow the news to come out, see what happens, right? And if if price pushes into your zone, right, after things cool off, right, that's on the 15. That strong push, and it's coming right back down, right? So now, if we get the bullish cloud ahead and we get a close above on the 5, then that's our opportunity, right? So we'll take this, we'll copy this, we'll take this down to the 5, right? We're on the 15-minute fib, on the 5-minute chart, and this is how we'll look at this one, right? In that 118 and 127 zone, we need green ahead, right? We got a TK crossover, okay? But we need price now to close above the cloud. All right. So this is how we're going to look at it, right? And we're going to be patient and allow price to close above the cloud. Okay. So that's the pound Aussie. This is one I'm definitely going to watch closely because we could be in for a decent move to the upside once we get all the confirmations met. All right. Let's go back to that pound NZD real quick. And then we'll take a look at the euros. See, pound NZ the same, right? Still didn't close above the cloud. Still didn't close above the cloud. Right? Patience, patience, patience. I know it gets tempting. I know it gets tempting, but got to be patient here. Got to be patient here, right? And wait for your confirmations. So important. So important. Okay. So that's where we are there. Questions on these pound pairs? No? Potentially done that. We talked about that, right? It's definitely close. It was definitely close. But we're talking about if price stays above this daily level, right? We got a daily support here. If price stays above that level, we could not hit that. So we'll see. We'll see how things continue to play out. It's still pushing to the downside here. But if we do stay above this daily level, this 80-20 that Benny posted last night, right, could play out if we stay above this daily level, right? But if price continues to push down as it's doing, right, we'll hit that D extension and then we'll get a refresh there. Okay. So definitely watching. Definitely watching. Yeah, it's a strong push back down. Right? You can see it still running. Again, this is why it's important to wait. Right? And we get the question all the time. Well, what do you mean wait for the market to settle down? Right? We mean sit and allow all of this action to happen. Right? You had a bullish move, now you had a bearish move. Reading through the statement, see what they're saying in the statement. So here you go, Donette, right? Price pushing to the D extension. Right? Pushing to the D extension. See? So waiting for all of this to transpire. Right? That's what we mean when we say allow the market to settle down. Right? That's what we mean. We run that fib again. All right, D extension was hit. D extension was hit. Okay. Now, 80-20 scenario no longer in play. We're waiting for a new AB boundary to form, and then we'll see what happens from there. Right? Whenever it forms, but no confirmation. Price still pushing to the downside. Right? No confirmation. Price still pushing to the downside. So that pound Aussie, similar deal probably. All right, see that? See that? Run into the downside. running to the downside. There's a lot of people that they got caught up in this move to the upside, right? And now they're sick. This price is pushing down. All right. Now they're sick. Bang. All right. So patience is key. Patience is key. Allow all of this to do whatever it's going to do. All right. Cool deal. Let's take a look at these. Gold has an 80-20 set up for a sell on the 15. All right, we'll take a look at it. My gold chart is probably out of date. Let's see here. Let's see. Daily time frame. Also got an 80-20 scenario off the daily. Right? Nah, not too bad. Fibs running off the low, 80-20 scenario here on the daily time frame, right? So could potentially push a little bit higher into that weekly level, 1997, right? But we'll see, all right? A little bit of indecision here, pushing up. So 80-20 scenario on the daily time frame for gold, drop down to the 4. Just hit a D extension on the 4. Okay. Weekly level here, broke through this. This was a daily level, by the way. That was a daily level. So we're sitting at that right now, right? Pushing up, trying to break above that. Continue higher, we'll see. We'll see if price turns over once the market opens. Down on the 1. We'll come back and run those fibs off the low. Like so. Choppy, choppy, choppy. There we go. There we go. All right, so that's on your 1. Just shy of the D extension on your 1. So could potentially get a little bit of a push up to hit that D extension. So be patient on that there. So that's the 1 hour. Come down to the 15. And that said, we got an 80-20 scenario on the 15. Oops. Zoom back out. Let's see. Let's see. All right. There we go, right? So that kind of confirms a little bit that 1 hour look, that 1 hour D extension was just a little bit higher, right? So keep your eyes on this one as well, right? Appreciate that, Donette, right? Look for, maybe we'll get another push to the upside to push into that 118, 127 zone. And then see if we get price to turn over. Come back down. Okay. So that's gold. 80-20 scenario right there. Keep your eyes on it if you trade gold, right? That's in sorry about that. If that's in your wheelhouse, and there you go. There you go. Wait for your confirmations there as well. All right. Drop your cloud on like so. Starting to get a twist there. Okay. You can take that and go down to the 5 if you want. All right. Oops. Here. Like so. There you go. Come down to the 5. All right. So if you enter off the 5, that's where you sit. All right. You got a cloud break here. It's just pushing sideways though, so be careful. All right. But there you go. See if you get another push to the upside there, and then give you a clean break to the downside. There you have it. There you have it. That's gold. That's gold. So that's the setup there. 80-20 scenario off the 15. Let's take a look at these euros. Euro CAD. We had some folks looking to play this one yesterday. We're still ranging, right? We're still ranging. We'll see how the ECB comes out, right? See how the ECB comes out, but we're not able to break above this weekly level. It's been tough. Okay. Three touches at this weekly level, 4 touches at the weekly level, and we're trying to come back down. So we'll see what happens at the 8 o'clock hour. Right. We zoom out here. Still not able to touch this 4-hour D extension. All right. Still not able to tap that. So stuck right there. 80-20 scenario on the 4. Okay. Come down to the 1. Zoom out. Run our fibs off the low. Got a lot of choppy action. There we go. Bang. All right. So this is another one that we'll see. We'll see how the ECB comes out, and we'll see how the market responds. Okay. We'll see how the market responds. Yeah. All right. So that is the Euro CAD. Trying to push down out of that zone, but we're expecting the ECB to be a little hawkish, right? Expecting ECB to be hawkish. So watch that closely and play it with caution. Right? Wait for your confirmations to be met. Just choppy on the lower time frames. Euro Swiss. Euro Swiss still chopping sideways off the daily, right? Still sideways push here. Okay. Did get a 50% retracement, right? So neutral to bullish, right? If they come in hawkish, we'll see this thing rise, break above that level, and start heading towards that D extension. All right. So we come down to the 4, and we see, right, more of the same. And on your 1, in that choppy sideways action, we took out this A, close that, we'll run fibs off the high, bang, right? And we got that push off the B boundary. Okay. So that's where we sit there on the Euro Swiss. Nothing much happening, waiting for price to do its dance and move where it wants to move. Euro NZD. This will be one for us to watch. It's pushing sideways as well, right? Pushing sideways as well. See this tight range here on the daily. Tight range on the daily. So we'll want to see if we make our way back down to the bottom of that range and able to break out and continue pushing lower, or do we continue to rise, right, and break those levels and start heading to that daily D extension, which is here. Okay, got a 618 retracement off that. So we definitely could be headed north if they come out hawkish. All right, so let's look on the 4. Come down to the 1, and that's where we sit, right? So if we get this break above here, right, get a break above these daily levels, it'd be a nice ride to the upside. Okay, the extension is just above this monthly level at 170, 175 and some change. All right, so it'll be a nice ride to the upside, but we want to see that breakout. All right, we want to see that breakout. So we'll see what the ECB has to say. That's what we want to see. Okay, that's what we want to see. So patience there. That's the Euro NZD. The euro dollar. Take a look at the euro yen last. Euro dollar. Interesting, right? So even with the news from yesterday, we didn't get this push down, right? That I was looking for. Give us that crown pattern. Prices continuing to rise, right? Pushed into that D extension off the daily time frame. Okay. So now we'll see if we reset, right? We'll see if we reset, get a new fib to form, right? But that's what we're looking at there. Let me see something here. Oops. Yeah. All right. So that's where we sit. Daily time frame. Got the D extension. Now we got some indecision. All right. So come down to the 4. We'll take this out. All right. That was that move to the upside yesterday after that news. Push to the D extension on the 4 as well. We got a fresh AB boundary form now, right? So what we could see, we broke above this daily level, right? We broke above the daily level. So we could see a retest, push higher, right? We're expecting a relatively hawkish ECB, okay? So if we get that, this is what we could see. We could see a spike down and then a push up to this weekly level. And then we'll see what happens here, right? We'll see what happens at this weekly level at 111, right? Yeah. So on these lower time frames, we could see a retest of this level that we just broke through, right? On the announcement of the news, retest, and then a push to the upside. So allow this one to move, right? Because this could set up nicely at this weekly resistance level for an 80-20 scenario, right? For a different play to the downside coming into tomorrow, right? So something for us to watch and pay attention to there. Come down to the 1, right? Still in the 80-20 scenario, but again, we just broke above this daily level, right? Just broke above the daily level, so look for a retest and a continuation higher. And we'll hit that D extension on the 1 hour. Right? Now, if the ECB comes in super dovish, right, you'll see this fall through the floor. Okay. But the expectation is for them to be hawkish. So we'll see this push a little bit higher, right? So I'd love to see it coming to this weekly level in line with that 118, 127 zone on the 4. Right. And we got the extension hit on the daily, right? So it gives us some confirmation at a key level. And then if we get a swing high there, then we definitely could be in for a decent move back down to the downside. So we'll watch that. We'll watch that closely, right? So look for this on the 1 hour time frame as that news is announced. We'll come here to the 15, right? More of the same. More of the same. We got a 618 retracement matching the extension is there, right? So look for that move to happen. All right. Questions on the euro dollar? Nope. Nope. All right. Cool deal. Let's see, euro GBP. I didn't look at this one. This will be interesting. I ran to the upside. Ooh wee. So this the euro GBP. Interesting, right? So with that pound news, just push it to the upside. Push it to the upside. So be interesting to read those that statement, that rate statement, right? And see what the conversation was, right? Could definitely be some dovish tone in that statement, right? But pushing to the upside, broke above these daily levels. So again, here, right, we might be in for a retest and a continuation too, right? So we'll watch that closely. I dig it, Joy. Smuggers all over the place. All over the place. On the 4, we hit the D extension, right? Fib coming off the low here. We hit the D extension and we're just pressing to the upside there. All right. So we'll go back and look at those other pound pairs. They're probably still falling. probably still falling. So, but pushing to the upside here nonetheless. We'll see if we get a pullback and a continuation, but this one might just continue to fly, especially if the ECB comes in, hawkish, right? So, and you see it just continuing to rise. So I'll read through that statement. I definitely suggest you guys read through it too. I'll post this, where's it at here? Policy report summary. We want to read that. So I'll post this. Oops. I'll post this in the Discord. If I can get through it all. Let's see. Sure. There we go. I'll post this in the Discord. We can read through these notes. All right. It'd be good to read what they say. All right. So we'll see what's causing all this bullish action. So 4 hour Euro GBP hit the D extension, right? On your one, let's see. Run the fib off the low. The extension hit as well, right? So looking for a reset, could come just as a retest of that daily level and then see a continuation to the upside, right? So this isn't one that I trade very much at all, just because it's super choppy and sideways the majority of the time. So, but bullish right now. And with that break above that level, just looking forward to stay bullish. So that's the Euro GBP. We'll take a look at this Euro Yen. And we'll close out by bouncing back to that pound NZD and pound Aussie. Euro Yen trying to get bearish, but just sideways. All right, just a sideways push. Just like the rest of the yen crosses, right? Just sideways, trying to push down. Now we'll see what happens. Definitely could turn back up to the upside. As we approach that 8 o'clock, 8:15 time frame. Okay. So same as the rest of them, just sideways. So nothing doing on the Euro Yen. Looking for a breakout above 142.994. Right? That's what we're looking for there. Questions on any of the Euros? Nope. All right, cool deal. Let's take a look back. I'm curious on these pounds. Continue to fall. Look at that. Continuing to fall. Straight bearish. So there's probably some dovish tone in that rate statement. All right. Crazy bearish move. But again, right, it's just showing you gotta be patient and you gotta allow the market to tell you what it's gonna do, right? The emotional reactions when news is announced, people are sick right now because they entered this trade before this candle closed, right? Oh, it's going long, and now they just blew their account because they put the whole house on it, right? And they're sick. Continues to fall, right? The value of patience. The value of patience. Same on this pound NZD, right? Yep. Exactly, Joy, right? It happens. It happens. Continuing to push bearish, right? So now, now on this pound NZD, right? We said if we break below that level, if we break below that level, well, you can call it manipulation, right? But so they increase the interest rate, right? Which in theory, based on if you're looking just at the number, right, increase of an interest rate, you would think that price would move in favor of the pound, right? So that would cause a push to the upside, right? But then as they read through that statement, right, that I just posted in the Telegram, you read through the statement, now you see what the conversation was and what they're looking at going forward. Now you bring that emotion back and you say, okay, this is actually what's happening. Yeah, they increased it, but could they be looking at tapering that off in the future, right? So you can call it manipulation, but at face value, just the number, you would think bullish, right? So it happens. It happens, right? So on this though, right? We broke below that level, right? Broke below that daily level, and got to wrap this up. Got to get the kid up, but broke below the level. So now what we look for is a retest. See if we're retesting to hold that, and that could be an opportunity for us to get short, right? Because we come back to our higher time frames. To our higher time frames, right? And we said if we break below this, right, we're breaking out of that range. Breaking out of that range, right? So look for a retest on the lower time frame to see if we can get that continuation short. All right. Any questions on anything that we covered this morning? No.
No, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, good people. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome Thursday. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
Have a great day.